Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Michael. I'm a Nigerian immigrant living in Toronto, Canada. So this is a story of how I applied for my permanent residence visa and I got it in less than 3 months. The application and the submission of documents and all that it took, and to the point where we got our passport request and all that, it took about 4 months in total. So our PR story is that of God's grace, because it has actually been God that has helped us all through the application process, the passport request, the approval, when we left Nigeria, landing here in Canada, getting a place to stay. It's been God's grace, and I tell you, the story is that of God's grace. It's been a miraculous journey so far. So join me as I tell you this story. It all started in 2018. I remember sometime January 2018 when my wife, then my girlfriend, when she wrote the IELTS for the first time. That is the English test. And when we tried to simulate our score to see, okay, what are our chances, what scores are we going to get? At the time, we realized that the scores were so low that there was no way we could have been invited to apply. That is, to get the ITA, invitation to apply. This is how the express entry works. You submit your credentials, you write the English test, then there's a system, there's a comprehensive ranking system that calculates your scores based on your education, your English proficiency, your work experience, your age, etc. So when we did that calculation at the time, I think for my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, right? She had, I think the score was about 382 or 400. For me, it was also less than 400, and we realized that we definitely needed to do more to boost our scores, right? So that we can stand a chance to be invited to apply. Our scores were so low at the time that it would have been a massive miracle for us to get ITA, because I think our score was 435. I actually can't remember. For me, mine was definitely less than 400 because I didn't pass I had a very low score in IELTS. I think I had listening was 7.5, writing was 6.5. Okay, I had a good score in reading, 9, and in speaking, I think I had 8. But it was still very low, and we needed to do more so as to boost our score and increase our chances of being invited to apply for the visa. So realizing this, I immediately applied to school so I could get my MBA. At the time, I already had about 3-4 years work experience. So I went back to school for 2 years so I can get my MBA. And with the MBA, I was so sure that my scores would increase and I would stand a better chance, for the visa. So between 2018 and 2019, we were just living our lives. I used the opportunity also to learn more about Canada. I started watching videos, YouTube videos, just to learn how it is in Canada, right? Then I was always on forum, on Nairaland forum, right? Because there are threads there that will teach you everything, almost anything you need to know about the express entry system, right? So I was always on those websites reading and trying to get more information on what I needed to do and how to also prepare for for the application when the time comes. So fast forward to 2020, I'd already finished my MBA. I finished my MBA in December 2019, and by January, I sent my documents to WES for evaluation. WES is one of the bodies that evaluates educational credentials for the Canada immigration. Yeah, so and also we had started preparing for IELTS in the beginning of the year 2020. Luckily for us, we wrote our IELTS just before the pandemic struck, just before the lockdown, right? And Thankfully, the IELTS results were just so good. In fact, I had the exact same scores as my girlfriend. Yeah, in listening we had 9, in writing we had 7.5, reading we had 9, and speaking we had 7.5. It was just a perfect score because it gave us the highest amounts of scores for our CRS points. For our IELTS, we used some online materials like IELTS Leads, IELTS online tests, mostly on YouTube also. I'll put some of these materials in the description box below. So at this time during the lockdown, this is myself and my girlfriend at the time, we had planned to, to get married and come to Canada together. Right. So, but there was lockdown and it was really tough for us. We needed to get married, we needed to do some documentation and all that. The whole lockdown thing just made everything to slow down. But luckily for us, things started opening back up around July, August 2020. So we got married around July, and immediately the next day after our wedding, we jumped into the pool. Okay, so by that I mean we submitted our profile into the express entry pool. The express entry pool is the pool of intending applicants, right, for Canadian visa. That's just a simple explanation of what the express entry pool is. So immediately we got married, we moved in and dropped our profile into the pool. But at the time, there were no draws, right? But we had to wait for for a couple of weeks. Our score at the time was 482, so we were so sure that once there's a draw, we'll definitely get ITA, which is invitation to apply. So as expected, immediately there was a draw. I think the draw was August 5, 2020, if I'm not mistaken. We got our ITA on that day, and we were so happy because the way it was just like everything worked together and it was really fast for us. I want to talk about the documents we submitted, right? Because I know there are some documents, in fact, there will be a checklist. You get a checklist when you get invitation to apply. So for proof of fund, I submitted reference letter for mutual funds investments at the bank. And of course, for proof of education, we submitted BSc, my MBA, my wife's BSc, and the West evaluation report. So we also submitted some documents as proof of marriage, right? We submitted the marriage certificate. We submitted, I actually included some pictures, just in case. For proof of employment, we submitted reference letters from our employers, right, at the time. The letter was showing our job descriptions, how much we earned, number of hours we worked, and all that. So with all the documents complete, we had already done our medical tests. Yeah, we'd gotten our police clearance certificate and all these other documents I had mentioned. We submitted our application, I think it was August 31st, 2020. At the point of submitting our application, of course, we'd have to pay some fees, the visa application fee and some other items. I can't remember the exact amount, but we had to get someone who was living in Canada to help us make the payment, and that was how we submitted our application, and everything went smoothly. If you've been following, you would see that our timeline was like this. We entered the pool in July, and we got our invitation to apply in August, and we also applied and submitted our application in August, right? The typical timeline for this was 6 months. However, the real gist is that we got our passport request in less than 3 months, guys. We got our passport request in less than 3 months, which means our application was approved in less than 3 months. If you want to hear the full gist of how we got our passport request in less than 3 months and got our visa and we landed in Canada within 4 months, please stay tuned and watch the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like it and share it. Also, do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.